Ever heard that story about the guy who, tried to get rich quick by copying stock trades, like from some kind of guru he just found online?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's like he didn't work out so well, right?
Yeah.
But what if there was like a smarter way to maybe, replicate success, but in the crypto world?
Right.
That is what copy trading is all about. It promises that.
Huh.
And today on the deep dive, we are diving into this platform. It's called Autosnipe. And they say they can do it better than everybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely it's very appealing, right? This idea that you don't have to spend all the time in the world um, researching and like looking at charts and trying to figure out market trends yourself. You can just kind of piggyback on someone who's, it looks like at least, is doing really well. But like with any investing strategy, I think a healthy dose of skepticism is a good thing.
Okay, so let's break this down. Copy trading with crypto. Basically, you are linking your crypto wallet to a platform. You are picking out a trader, hopefully a more experienced trader, to copy, and then boom, like instant portfolio pro. Is that it?
Well, not instantly, right? There's some nuance there, right? So while they do automate it, right? These copy trading platforms automate the process of replicating the trades. It's not. You shouldn't think about it as like a copy paste. Like I'm just going to hit copy paste and I've got the same portfolio.
Mhm.
It's more like choosing a financial advisor. You're not just going to go to a financial advisor, not know anything about them, and just hand them your life savings. You're going to want to understand, how do they invest? What's their philosophy? What has they done in the past? All of those things.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So due diligence is still crucial. So how does Autosnipe fit into this? Because they're doing something a little bit different than just straight copy trading, right?
Yeah. So most of these copy trading platforms, what they'll do is they'll just mirror every trade made by the trader. What Autosnipe does is they focus solely on new asset acquisitions. So they're only going to copy the trader when that trader buys a token for the first time.
Okay, so why is that so important? What difference does that make?
Yeah, so it has to do with mitigating risk,
Yeah.
right? So specifically, we're talking about, there's this concept called exit liquidity. And so I'll give you a scenario. Imagine a trader. They pump up the price of a token they already own. Maybe they've owned it for a while.
Right.
Start talking about it on social media. The price pumps up, and then all of a sudden they sell all their stake in that token.
Oh, wow.
Right. So what happens? The market gets flooded with that sell order. The price plummets, and if you were copying their trades, then well, you bought high and you sold low.
Right. Right.
So by Autosnipe saying, okay, we only care about new acquisitions, it kind of removes some of that risk.
It's like when they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they're not just trying to dump on people. And so it's this way of filtering out, potentially manipulative or just very short-term plays.
And they also claim to have like scam detection built in.
Yeah. So they're not just blindly copying every new acquisition, right? They have a system that's looking at potential trades. Is there anything suspicious here? And so what are the things they might look at? They might look at, the tokenomics of a project, or they might look at, all of a sudden there's this weird price surge. That might be an indication of a pump and dump scheme. And so they try to use these algorithms and these various signals to avoid those things.
Okay, so they're doing things to protect users.
Yeah.
Which is good. But even with all these protections in place, to your point earlier about due diligence, users still shouldn't just blindly trust it.
No. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still the one who's putting your money at risk, right?
Right.
And so I think these kinds of alerts that Autosnipe is putting out, it's more like they should be starting points for your own research.
Yeah.
So if Autosnipe flags something as being potentially risky, the next question should be, okay, well, why? What is it about this project that's raising red flags? And then let me go do my own research. Look at the team, look at the technology. If there's a white paper, read it. The more you understand, the less you're just blindly trusting somebody else.
Right. So we've got this platform, Autosnipe. It automates a specific kind of copy trading, focusing on these new buys, and they're trying to weed out scams. Does it work? Like, is this the holy grail of crypto investing that we've all been waiting for?
I mean, if I had the holy grail, I don't think I'd be sitting here. But I do think that an interesting approach for sure. But it's one tool, right? And I think too often in the crypto space we see people that are looking for these magic bullets, these things that are just going to make them rich overnight.
For me.
And the reality is that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The real I guess where you're going to find your edge is combining the convenience of some of this automation with continuous learning.
Right.
You're never going to be able to outsource, your financial future to an algorithm.
That's a great point. So for our listeners, the people out there who are like, okay, this auto snipe thing, this is interesting to me. Copy trading in general, this is interesting to me. What's like the key takeaway? What should they take away from this?
Yeah, I mean, explore it, right? If it's interesting to you, check it out. But approach it with, a healthy amount of skepticism, but also, use it as a way to potentially learn more, right? Um, don't just rely on the platform to tell you what to do, but say, okay, this is interesting. This has piqued my interest. Now, how can I learn more about this myself? How can I learn to read the market? How can I familiarize myself with all these amazing on-chain analysis tools that are out there? How can I really understand how to evaluate, you know, the fundamentals of a project? And those are the skills. Those are the things that will serve you well, long term beyond any kind of like one platform or strategy.
That is fantastic advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive today. This has been really fascinating, and I'm sure our listeners are going to get a lot out of this.
Happy to be here.
And for everybody out there listening, thank you for joining us on the deep dive, and we will see you next time.